Cowabunga!
What it is, gang? It's your boy Cowabunga here, back again with another video. I want to say sorry. I know I left y'all hanging. I know it's been a while since I made a new video, but I'm back. I want to try and get more consistent, try and get some more reactions out. I want to try and shoot for at least between 1 to 2 per week. But with that said, today we're reacting to NBA 2k23's new video. So they just dropped a new feature in their MyNBA mode. So we're gonna watch the video and get into it. The game comes out on September 9th, by the way.
Yo, what's swaggin' players? It's your boy, Stax Montana, man, and I'm here to ask you one of the biggest questions in the history of the basketball world. What if Giannis really decides to play for another team later in his career? What if we still got the privilege to watch a prime MVP Derrick Rose? Let's take it back even further. What if Shaq and Kobe never split? What if MJ didn't retire after his first 3-peat? What if we got to see just one more Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird NBA Finals? What if this and what if that? But what if I told you all of these what if questions could be answered and more in this year's NBA 2K23 MyNBA? This year we feel like we hit a benchmark year with an amazing breakthrough in NBA 2K23's MyNBA mode. Introducing MyNBA Eras.
Okay. All right. MyNBA Eras. Okay. So this is definitely its own mode within MyNBA. I know MyNBA lets you kind of do whatever you want, like, you know, put Jordan on the current Lakers or, you know, stuff like that. So this looks pretty intriguing so far.
In this first ever, I repeat, first ever one-of-a-kind mode, you can hop into a time machine.
Yeah, I don't think any other game has done something like this. We can go back and change stuff. I know that the NHL franchise from EA, I know they used to have like a live now moments where you could just remake certain moments in your own fashion. But this is, you can actually change history. So that's pretty cool.
Travel back in time and start your MyNBA journey in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, as well as the traditional modern day era. Now let's use that time machine right quick, you feel me? Let's travel back into a time before even I was born. We talking about the 80s, or what we like to call the Magic versus Bird era. The rivalry between Magic Showtime Lakers and Bird Celtics will be on full display, along with the careers of other players of NBA royalty, such as Kareem, Zeke, George Gervin, Dr. J, and the list goes on and on for so many other iconic players and teams. You'll also see a change in gameplay as teams are taking less threes during this era, while in the paint scoring and playing through the big man is more of a focus. Now let's talk about those what ifs again. And one of the craziest ways you could rewrite the history of the NBA as we know it today. In this era, the starting point is the 1983 to 84 NBA season, where you'll have the entire year to get your affairs in order for the upcoming 1984 draft, where you'll have the opportunity to draft the man on the cover of this year's championship edition, Michael Jordan. If you're into community creations, don't worry. That still stands strong this year with the ability to create custom players, draft classes, and total team revamps. But for MyNBA Eras, we'll provide you with our year-appropriate draft classes. So don't worry, if you missed out on MJ, I know a 7-footer out of Georgetown by the name of Patrick Ewing that's coming up in the 1985 draft. Let's hop back in that time machine right quick, okay? And travel back to the 90s, a time we like to call the Jordan era. It would be impossible for one of the greatest eras in basketball history to not be displayed and headlined by his airness himself, Michael Jordan. One of my favorite things about MyNBA Eras is
active basket legal in 99, hand checking allowed in 95, zone defense legal in 01, new floors, new arenas, new uniforms, classic 90s era presentation. Okay, I like that. Special 90s commentary unique to the decade, G1 League in 2001, Raptors and Grizzlies joined the league in 95. Okay. They got something there. Didn't they do something similar with the presentation in 2K12? That's what I thought they did.
This authenticity.
That was 10 years ago, though.
rules.
But don't quote me.
Playing in the Jordan era would be no walk in the park, you feel me? With hand checking legal and hard fouls being even harder while driving to the paint. In the Jordan era, the Jordan rules apply. The Jordan era starts at the beginning of the 1991 season, right before the run that made MJ the GOAT in a lot of people's eyes. Do you have what it takes to build a team and defeat Jordan and stop him from going 6 for 6? Or do you take control of his legacy, build an even better team, and try to win 8 straight? Who knows, with the 1992 NBA draft coming up, maybe you find a way to pair MJ with one of the most dominant players in the history of the game, Shaquille O'Neal. With all of that being said though,
I would definitely do that. I would definitely do it. Just to see how it plays out. I would definitely do it.
we still not even done yet. Now let's hop back in that time machine one more time and travel back to a time not so long ago. A time we like to call the
Kobe era. Okay, so relive the greatest eras in NBA history by doing one of several time periods, each offering you experience. 2002, the most stacked draft class in the league in NBA history. How will the careers of James, Anthony, Wade, Bosh play out on your watch? Experience this iconic era and find out. Honestly, I'm putting Melo on the Lakers. I'm gonna be honest.
Kobe era, with the Eastern Conference finally crumbling and falling to its knees. The Western Conference took over with teams like Dirk and the Mavs, KG and the Wolves, and the dynasty created by Tim Duncan and the Spurs. But what might be the biggest what if of all time? The Kobe and Shaq Lakers. Trying to keep that team together won't be easy, but lucky for you.
Yeah, well, I would just tell Shaq, stop, knock it off, go do what you're supposed to do. You ain't going nowhere. No heat for you.
This era starts in the year 2002 with what might be the greatest draft of all time, the 2003 NBA draft. If you're a savvy enough GM, you can figure out a way to pair Kobe with LeBron, Melo, D-Wade, Chris Bosh, or even Darko if you're feeling risky. To complete Kobe's legacy and capture 2 more rings in LA and make him the true successor.
3, we're getting 3 more.
The authenticity of the improved MyNBA Eras mode is scary detailed. Not only will you see gameplay and rule changes over time to match each NBA era, you will also see team logos, jerseys, arenas, and even location change as you play through each era. So you'll see the Charlotte Hornets move all over the league before settling in New Orleans and eventually changing their name to the Pelicans. The Seattle Supersonics becoming the OKC Thunder, as well as the lack of other franchises that didn't exist in a certain era. So if you're a Miami Heat fan, I'm sorry, but you won't see that team until the league expands in 1988. Playing as the San Diego Clippers will really feel like a slice of NBA history, as we watch tons of footage to replicate.
They needed to go back to San Diego. Inglewood ain't it. Go to San Diego. Go home.
Each NBA arena, sponsor logos around the arena, floors, and thanks to the My Team folks for their huge library of jerseys for their respective time period. And NBA 2k23's MyNBA Eras authenticity doesn't even stop there. Authentic and true commentary for each era was a huge deal. The audio team really outdid themselves this year. Historically, they've kept our commentary booth up to date and added new content to our colossal bank of audio lines to keep gameplay as fresh as possible. This year, our current primary commentary booth is Kevin Harlan, Clark Kellogg, and Greg Anthony. However, for the 80s and 90s, we brought in the legendary Mike Fratello, aka the Czar, to help provide a different dynamic to the play-by-play and color commentary, as well as a ton of fun stories from the league during this time period. It would be impossible to go over everything MyNBA Eras has to offer, but you know we love to go over even the smallest details. Each era has its own period-specific background. We wanted each era to feel and look different inside and outside of gameplay. Finances will grow and change with each era, as well as the G League and social media being added to the mode at its appropriate time. We even got dynamic shorts length, from short shorts in the 80s to long shorts in the 90s, back to a shorter style in the modern era. We also added the change of All-Star Game jerseys, going from players wearing their own team's jerseys until the real-life NBA made the change to team-based jerseys. MyNBA Eras was created.
Garbage choice. Absolute garbage. It should still be you wear whatever team you want. It should still be like that.
By basketball fans, for basketball fans. and we think you're gonna love it. As you can imagine, the majority of our time went into making MyNBA Eras what it is, but we also made time to make some improvements to the other MyNBA modes that you all enjoy. My WNBA now has an updated playoff bracket. We're now using a more standard 3-round single elimination bracket with the old system available as a rule change for all leagues. Also, like the real WNBA, we now have the Commissioner's Cup. We revamped team rivalry. When teams clash out there on the court, we now have a more in-depth system to calculate the heat index between two teams. The calendar menu was also revamped, as well as adding Eastern and Western Conference Finals MVPs. It's been a very productive year for not only our franchise team, but every team involved in the creation of this new experience. We weren't sure we'd be able to add everything we wanted in one development cycle, but we locked in and got it done. As always though, we want to hear back from you, and we welcome and encourage any and all feedback. Until we speak next, enjoy, and we can't wait to hear about how you rewrite history. Let's go.
I don't know. What's up, Trey? I don't know. I think 2k23 might be really good this year. Hey, it's looking kind of good. God, shut up, Trey. It's looking kind of good though. I'm not gonna lie. I think 2k23 might be one of the best. It could be if this is done right, like they say. It could be really good. But with that being said, thank y'all so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.